Collar, Pure Steel, Greaves on Outfitter. I think it was either Greaves on Stone, Collar, Pure Steel. It was probably Collar, Stonehaven, Greaves, Pure Steel, though. Because if I'm going to block with Stonehaven, I want it to have the lifelink. He'll probably toast the Pure Steel here. Lightning Bolt. We got... Oh, wow. Shrapnel Blast. Okay. Nice. Okay. That Shrapnel Blast would have hit the Stonehaven, but at least I would have drawn a card. We're still in this. Yeah, he's not interested in attacking. Another pair of Lightning Greaves. It's not great. I think you just play the Pure Steel and play another pair of Greaves. Would be an okay spot. I mean, second Greaves does come up if you have multiple threats. It does. And we'll draw a card here. Which is good. Yes, I'd love to draw a card. Yes. Drew Basilisk Collar. I mean, second Collar is relevant too. We have two threats. So let's suit up the Pure Steel. I can't imagine he's blocking the... Now you need to be careful though. If you put the second Greaves, I can't move the Basilisk, but I'm pretty sure I just want to keep it on the Stonehaven. Would he triple block there to just try to take the Basilisk Collar? You think he would? I wonder if he would. That's not a terrible... Well, he'd have to give it the Disciple of the Vault. I can't imagine he's doing any blocks, actually. Like, all of his blocks seem really terrible. I don't think he's blocking at all. But yeah, it's just because it's Shroud and not Hexproof, you do have to do some finagling. I know, Skew. I know. He goes to 9.
You keep your cards so close to your chest, you're making me confused. Sitting deep, what you need to address if you want to assume.
But this game may not be about anything else. It may just be about 2 3/3s, one of which that's lifelink. And we just beat him down. That's the only reason I would go for the second Greaves equip. Which is why I usually only need one pair of Greaves. If you have a Shikari, you can just move the Greaves around your various creatures in response to removal the whole time. Can't believe Disciple of Vault's legal. Mortarpod would kill the Disciple. Another Shrine. Okay. So he's leaving up the hanger back. Steel Shaper. It's not great here. Okay, so who are we getting killed? Do you trade the Pure Steel or do you trade the Stonehaven? It's probably trading the Stonehaven. I'd probably trade the Stonehaven. You could attack both creatures and then he'll do some blocks. I mean, technically what I can do, Overmaster, I can Steel Shaper into Mortarpod, and then I can use the Mortarpod to move the equipment around. And then I can get a second Basilisk Collar online by doing that. Flare Husk. It'd only be so good, dude. I'd still rather go for the Mortarpod. So what? Pod, move the Greaves off the Pure Steel, put a collar on the Pure Steel. Okay. Kill the Disciple. You like the Mortarpod line? Okay. Isn't that, I mean, us going heavier on Mortarpod's one of the reasons why I cut the Flare, so that's going to draw us a card. Again, like the Shikari really makes this deck sweet. Alright, second Kemba. There's only 2 in the list if you're wondering. So I can play the Basilisk Collar, draw another card. And also, when the germ dies, we're going to draw another card because of how Stonehaven Outfitter works. Whenever an equipped creature you control dies, draw a card. It is indeed equipped. Alright, there's the collar. That's part of the infinite loop. Actually, we nearly have the infinite damage loop over, Master. We're one equipment or tutor away. We have the pod, we have the collar, we have a pure steel effect in play. We might just infinite this guy. So let's get a little greedy here. Let's move the Greaves to the germ. Let's move Basilisk Collar to the Paladin. And then, Wait a second. This is fantastic. This gives a toughness. Mortar Pot, of course, gives 1 toughness. We actually don't have to lose the Pure Steel in this exchange. We could give up the Stonehaven, but I think we want to keep the Pure Steel. What if I did this line? What if I ping Germ onto Disciple, then move Mortar Pot to Pure Steel? Yeah, let's kill that. Let's draw a card off of the Stonehaven. This deck draws a lot of cards, by the way. You'd be like, wait, isn't this deck mono white? Well, yeah. Oh, wow, we draw another card. This is a freebie. Paradise Mantle. This is a freebie. Like, we don't even have to attack with our threats anymore. We can just make a bunch of mana. Well, no, we can't, because now we're, Yeah, I can't with the Greaves. I meant to put the Greaves on after. I did make a mistake there in my sequence. Yeah, I noticed, Skew. I noticed, too late. I still think we have to attack. He'll make us lose the Paladin, but we have a lot of inevitability with all the cards we just drew. It's okay, I did make a misplay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I was supposed to move the Greaves after the Mortar Pod. We were supposed to ping Vault. Okay, ping Disciple, move Mortar Pod, move Greaves. Yeah, that's fine. I still think we have a lot of inevitability here. So we're going to draw a card for the... I still think you're supposed to. Okay, Steel Shaper. So we're still going to have reduced equips. It's just not 100% reduced. The Paradise Mantle will be 0. Collar's going to be 1. Greaves is, of course, always 0. Mortar Pod will be 1. Remember when Mortar Pod was the trump card that beat the Godblade Mirrors? Oh, wow. 3 mana? Uh-oh. Furnace Celebration. This is a brew, for sure. This is awesome. Romario, thanks for the follow, Reno. Or the comment there. Who was that follow? I just missed it. It wasn't you, Romario. It was, K-Todas. K-Todas, welcome to the show. Thanks for the follow. Thank you. Green screen's not happy. Now it's happy. Alright, let's take it. So adding the Steel Shaper to the board is really good, especially when your opponent's tapped out. Like, we can do a lot of cool stuff now. Alright, so let's float. Play Flagstones. Keep this one. Say okay. So what I'm planning on doing here is deploying the Steel Shaper. Now, you have to have multiple Steel Shapers before it gives the same effect, honestly, as a Pure Steel will. But we can still do a lot of nutty stuff here. So basically, I can move the Greaves. He's tapped out, so we can move the Greaves and do some cool stuff. So we can make some free mana. Like, I might just want to just suit up a Kemba and not even bother with, yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to make a bunch of mana. Like, okay, let's play the Kemba. I think we're just going to go on the Kemba plan. Yeah. And then move everything to Kemba. So lets me move the Mortar Pod to Kemba. See how it's got a reduced cost thanks to the Steel Shaper? And then I can move Greaves to Kemba. And I'll move Greaves to this guy. Move Paradise Mantle to Steel Shaper. Then move the Greaves, giving him haste, allowing him to tap for mana. That'll let me put the Basilisk Collar on the Kemba. I guess I could put, if I don't want to block, which I don't really need to, if I wanted to put more equipment on her, I'd have to do something like Paradise, Greaves, tap her, Then move Greaves back. Collar. We're making a cat army, by the way. Then move that to her. A lot of sequencing, a lot of sequencing. Okay, so this is going to go here. I actually don't need to put a pair of Greaves on the Steel Shaper, and I necessarily shouldn't. He's the least important piece to this puzzle. Now that everything's on the Kemba. So send it back. Alright. Oh, she has been suited. For sure, Paul. She has 5 pieces of equipment on her. That's 5 cats a turn. We, for a while, Paul, we were talking about running Brimas. We were going to run some Brimas. And not because of price. That's not a big deal. You know, especially now that I'm sponsored. And Paul, you know this too. It wasn't a big deal. But we decided to go with the 2 of Kemba instead. We were going to try a 1-1 split of Brahma's Kemba, and then we realized that the Kemba was just bonkers in this deck and was making like armies of like 4 more cats a turn. Meow. Kemba with Shroud seems awesome. Yeah, she's a 3/6 Shroud, Death Touch, Haste, Lifelink. I mean, the haste and the, you know, haste isn't very relevant anymore, but it was that turn. Like, I like the deck a lot. This deck's actually maybe my most... I think this is my the most fun deck I could maybe take to the tournament. Oh, hang on, I gotta reset my green screen. Yeah, this is probably the most fun deck we built, but I don't think it's the strongest. You know. Maybe I need to crank up the blend. I don't know what's going on here. For example, I look a little green. 250? Maybe that's better. Alright, Claws of Gix. If we had Shikari, we could like move Greaves to her in the upkeep. I mean, now I have like so much mana. Oh wow, we drew the Shikari. So now we can do all sorts of bonkers things. I was like, man, if we drew Shikari here... Yeah. Or I could just slap the Sword of Fire Ice on something. That seems good too. Actually, he's dead if I play Shikari, because I can move the... I could move the... Do I have... No, none of my equipment in play right now is aggressive. No, I can win with the Shikari, because we can move the Greaves to the Kitty Kitties and we win. Right, he's only got 3 blockers. I'm pretty sure Shikari is a win. Well, I could move the Greaves anyway. He's tapped out. I'm just saying, like, Shikari makes it safer. I don't anticipate him to have, like, Simian Spirit Guide. Hang on. Do we need the Shikari? Maybe I'm just, like, giving a couple cats haste. Oh, I know they won't keep the haste. I know. I know. I'm just thinking I may want to move combat, or move equipment middle of combat. Hang on, Avacyn's Collar is pretty cheap. We have full equip cost now, though, because he shot the Steel Shaper. So we lost the Steel Shaper as well. I still think the best play is Shikari and then just go for inevitability. Like, Shikari gives my Kemba a lot of inevitability. Because we can bounce the Greaves around. She's basically immune to the removal. I know you can't move the Greaves while declaring attackers, I know. That's not what I'm planning on doing. Like, I'm thinking what we do. And we have a lot of mana. Actually, let's do that first. We have like a... No, we don't, because we don't have the equipment reduce. We can't reduce. But we can maybe... either get Collar or Sword of Fire Ice into play. Collar means I'm only 1 piece away from the infinite damage loop. But Sword is so good in the matchup. Yeah, Mantle's not equip 0, it's equip... I think Collar's the most correct. I mean, this adds combat damage. This adds damage. And gives Vigilance. The Vigilance is less important than the damage at this point. Yeah, so we swing Stonehaven, Kemba, and 2 cats.